Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for The Spill, a game about oil spills and rescuing the marine life that it affects. This game's not bad. This game is not bad.
Yeah, it feels like pandemic light.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and I mean, yeah, just kind of with the ever increasing amount of dice you drop instead of cards you draw. What do you guys think of the little dice tower thing here?
It's gonna get cuter.
Yeah.
Thanks for painting.
Right. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about this is, the box that this comes in is so you have to assemble this and the quadrant thing each time you play.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of at this point. It's like, okay, this was a Kickstarter. I paid for a Kickstarter game. I don't want to have to assemble shit anymore. Luckily, this doesn't hurt me.
Right.
As I put it together.
You're never going to let that one go. You only got hospitalized by one game.
Yeah, it's one game too many. A board game should not hurt you as you are trying to play it. Anyway, so yeah, this isn't bad. I think it does a decent job of being somewhat challenging, but also giving you enough actions and avenues to be able to handle the crisis, especially because you do the drop at the beginning of your turn.
Right.
Which I think is actually the fundamental difference.
Yeah, so you can strategize how to deal with what just happened rather than hope.
Yeah.
Take your actions and hope for
You're not like a turn behind where it's like, okay, I dropped mine, all right, now it's your turn to deal with it instead of, it's actively my turn.
Right.
I liked the fact that there are multiple, win condition cards.
Yeah.
There's 3 of each difficulty, so 3 level 1s, 3 level 2s, and 3 level 3s.
Right.
On top of the fact that you can change your spill out difficulty. So it's pretty customizable. I think if we found this game particularly easy, then it's just, oh, okay, well then let's change the win conditions. I can't remember if you can actually pick multiple win condition. No, I don't think you can. I think you just pick the level of win conditions. Where are they? Win condition cards. Shuffle the selected set, then draw 1 at random. Yep. Some may even start completed. Oh, because in the action cleanup, so some of the win conditions, you can already have been meeting it, but as the game progresses, it could go away.
Oh, okay.
Kat, what do you think?
I agree with Brett when he said it was pandemic light. It is. I liked it though. At first, I wasn't sure if I was feeling it. But yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
I have no overwhelming feelings about it though.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm not as
good, but not, oh, we gotta play this again.
Right. Because of just the sheer nature of pandemic, where your setup is going to be completely different each time you even start, so therefore the challenge is already different from the get-go. This doesn't quite have that. The animals are going to be on the same spot every time you start. The only difference is that you set aside 8 oil dice, and then you drop those, and that's just where those... So the oil could be easier or harder,
Totally
just
random.
depending on how they roll.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of this game's biggest flaws, is it just relies on dice.
Yeah, and the cards, the particular cards you have, which are not a major factor. But
Right, and you have a lot of control over what those cards are, at least because everyone draws 2, and you pick one.
That's true. That's true.
But unlike Pandemic, where the first initial set of 9 is, once again, that does kind of dictate, oh man, they're all spread out, that's nice. Or it's all one color, okay, well...
We know where to focus.
But then you kind of know, just the flow of Pandemic is just so brilliant with that Epidemic card, where it shuffles the issues you've already seen, stacks them back on top. It's like, man, okay, we already know the hard-hitting areas, so you can get a little bit more control as the game goes on. This doesn't have that.
Right.
You just have 0 control over really anything, just because the dice are what they are.
Yeah.
Granted, you're dropping 3, and not only do you have to rely on the luck of the way that the dice are coming out, you have to hope that they bounce in the tray in your favor. because the first time we played this, we lost by spillouts.
Yep.
It's like you just couldn't do enough to be able to handle them because it was like, oh man, all in the same quadrant, all the same number. And this one, it was like, oh man, hey, cool, it's all on numbers that haven't been seen yet.
It was, it just seemed very evenly spread.
The weather die, literally, all 3 weather dice were +1.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a huge boon.
So, some people might like that. I know a lot of people who like dice, and they like the randomness, enjoy it.
That undercuts the strategy, though.
It does.
So this puts it more on a level of like Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Sky.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the Loop. Have you played the Loop?
No.
The Loop also has a cube tower, but it's spread out into 3. So the way that the cube tower rotates, it can hit one of 3 sections, and you drop a certain number of cubes in there, and then they have each time era can hold so many cubes, and you're like, okay, this is going to cause a paradox if 2 cubes pop into this one section, and so let's hope it doesn't do that.
Okay. Or we know which one's blocked off, so we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, this doesn't have that either. It is literally just, it's 1 of 4, but you drop 3, and it's like, oh man, lucky us, it hit 3 different ones. Or we've seen it where they all pop into one section, and that just sucks.
Yeah.
So
because that shifts your attention to one spot, and then the next roll could have shifted all the way across the board.
Yeah.
And there aren't enough moves to get around.
Yeah. This also definitely feels like it's one of those. I feel like every game of Pandemic, you almost need the medic. This one, you almost need the hazmat specialist.
They're real helpful, but so was... I'd say so far we've only identified one role that seems to be much less valuable.
The requisitions officer, it gets 5 resource cards this game, and when you as the requisitions officer, use a resource, you may replace the newly drawn card with one from the discard pile. I think they thought that sounded better than it actually ended up being in practice.
Resource cards, aren't as powerful.
I like that they are clutch, and they are pretty much used really at any time on your turn as not an action.
Yeah.
They're not as busted as events in Pandemic, where those are literally any time whoever has one.
Right.
Although in this you do have a steady flow of resource cards instead of the limited number of events in Pandemic.
And these you have to spend time charging up and figuring out what you want to prepare for.
Right. Which is interesting. Yeah. I don't think that's too bad. I kind of actually like that. It helps you focus. It's like, you know what, we can remove a bunch of oil because we really want to get this one cube. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's also a lot of work. Like, we're really only doing that because it's part of the win condition.
Yeah, that bothered me when we were looking over the rules and getting familiar with the game, that seemed like, when are we ever going to use those?
Right.
But as it turns out, we're using them more than I thought.
Yes.
They're easier to charge up and they're easier to use.
Yeah, but literally everyone is just better than the requisitions officer. Marine biologist can rescue animals on adjacent sectors. Sea captain can move from sector to sector. They can transport to the same number in adjacent quadrants. Yeah. And the meteorologist basically ignores, he's not affected by 4 out of the 6 weather rolls, and he can treat 2 of them as the plus AP. So he essentially has that weather radar ability. Mm-hmm.
But then again, the weather die, there's only 4 in the bag.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is he going to draw one?
I feel like that should have been another element of difficulty.
Yeah. Is
have multiple weather dice, and it's like, hey, instead of putting 4, if you want to add some challenge, put 5 or 6. Because they are pretty crucial when they pop up, but they only affect the person whose turn it is.
Right.
Or what they should do is the weather dice accumulate.
Yeah.
Or not accumulate, to where it's like, oh shit, I rolled the card one, so that flips for everyone. Yeah. Either have it affect everyone or have it stack on the same person.
Yeah.
But that would be pretty busted.
Yeah, but but then again, they're so rare to draw.
Yeah.
And even then, there's a small chance that it's beneficial.
Yeah. Which I like. I like that it's not all just bad.
Yeah, but it just seems like considering how rare it is, and considering how complicated they make things, it just seems like an unnecessary complication.
Yeah.
I don't think it really adds much to the game.
Right. It almost feels like they wanted to have epidemics in here, but they're like, how do we do that with dice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we just have...
an epidemic die.
We have, an epidemic die. One-time use, fucks over one person, potentially.
One turn.
For one turn.
It doesn't stay.
and then it doesn't change anything. It doesn't increase the spill outs. Yeah. The spill outs are also a little weird, like, because to me, I feel like the only downside of a spill out is really just how many dice you're drawing. Mm-hmm. And it really only matters in higher difficulties. Standard doesn't, like, just keep track of spill outs just for win-loss conditions, but not for how many dice, because it only goes up from 3 to 4. Yeah. But then in Ultimate, it's like, if you're getting up to 5, then you're drawing 5 dice. 5, 6 dice, and that's pretty much a loss.
Yeah, by that late in the game also, you've probably got the board pretty well covered.
Completely covered, yeah. So, I don't think this game is super easy. I don't think it's super hard either. Yeah. I do think it, surprisingly, and I'm curious of what your guys' thoughts are, I'm surprised that even though they use dice, it doesn't feel unfair.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of space to spread out good or bad rolls.
Yeah.
Very easy to just take them off the board.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it might take up your whole turn just to permanently remove them, but that's good.
Yeah.
If you want to permanently remove them.
Or you could spend those actions just clearing space instead. Yeah, they'll show up again, but who knows where.
Right. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as dice heavy as it is, it doesn't feel. It feels like you have a lot of control.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember meeting these guys, I think it was last year at Gen Con, and I know they really wanted to focus on the tower so that it didn't, like, always consecutively hit and go to one area. And, I mean, I don't know if there's a way to actually test that, but I felt like it was a pretty even spread.
Oh, I mean, sure.
Well, I mean, I guess we could look at the overall thing, but it's like, yeah, this whole section is kind of clear of dice. That whole area isn't. So maybe it does lean.
Well, we were focusing more on rescuing, and you were focusing more on clearing.
True.
Because, well, and you've got an extra clearing power. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it all comes down to, you know, are these centered closely enough, and is that going to spread it out evenly enough?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that they could do it without getting into some really serious engineering.
Yeah, which obviously they didn't even bother making it to where it fits all back in the box, so they weren't going to work too hard.
That's a fine design.
Yeah.
And I don't see the value of having 2 layers of these, except just to make it taller and more impressive.
Maybe. Yeah. That's pretty much all I got. Like, I don't really. I mean, it's a pretty solid co-op game. I like the theme. It's a really nice one.
Yeah, it's nice to see a industrial game that's actually on the environmental side.
Exactly.
How can you screw over your customers?
Right.
Better than your opponents.
Yeah, and you're not playing as the oil rig. You're not trying to build them. It's like, hey, yeah, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Oil leaks in the ocean happen all the time. Here's center on the focus of the teams and the people who actually try and save the animal life. I like it.
Which thematically is just like Pandemic.
True.
You're trying to rescue and save instead of you're trying to industrialize and profit from.
Right, do biological warfare.
Yeah. I'm sure there's games on that.
Probably. At least there will be.
Now.
Anyway, you guys got anything else? Alright, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you guys giving the spill?
I'll go 7.
It's kind of where I'm at.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
7. Pretty solid. Gonna add it to my collection. I enjoy it.
Pop it out now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you feel like putting it together?
I know. Luckily, it's not that bad, but it's just kind of... And yeah, I could just take that insert out, and then it fits back in there, but that's just stupid. It's like, come on. Like, no one wants to fucking assemble shit anymore. So, yeah, that's our thoughts on the spill. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.